Okay, activity 5.2, Introduction to CAD Modeling Skills. In this activity link is right here, making sketches in CAD. There are 19 exercises, and what you're going to want to do is create a folder on your Network Inventor drive in your Inventor folder that you're going to call 5.2, making sketches. And then some of these will require you to make your own sketch, and others will have a starter file. So here are all the starter files that are needed to do these sketches, and you need to download them and save them. And then when you save them, there's kind of a specific saving notation that I want you to use that will make it easy for me to check and find them on the network drive. Okay, if we look at the activity, again, this just lists the starter files that we need, and the first one is practice with the spline tool. Let me go back to smaller size. The directions are below what the file should look like. Okay, and the first one we were going to save it as 01 spline. Okay, or something like that. But I want you to use a 2-digit number, 01, for each 1 through 19. That way they'll come up in order, and they'll show up very easily, and I can check them without you having to turn them in electronically. I can check them on the network drive. Okay, so this is just practice with all the different sketch tools, and the first tool is the spline tool. So I've already done a new part file. Okay, so that's already been started, and go ahead and right away, of course, make sure that you're not in your puzzle cube folder. Make sure that you are in Unit 5 5.2 folder, and again I want you to name this 01 spline. And then if you look at what we're going to do, it's just a little bit of practice with the spline tool. You do not have to recreate these shapes, but you'll notice this first one has like 5 different points. The second one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different points, or so on. And then there's a couple kind of amoeba shapes that are enclosed. Okay. When you're looking for tools on Inventor, of course, what am I going to need to do? This is in a sketch, so I need to select the plane to create my sketch on. And as you're looking for things, one thing to notice is you always have the basic tool, and then there's always a drop arrow. So like the rectangle tool that we've used frequently at this point, there's different ways to make a rectangle. Same is probably true with the spline. You have different ways to create the spline. So we're just doing the basic one. The other thing with the tools, again, escape takes you out of a tool, but when you hover over it, it tells you what to do. It also kind of gives you a little tutorial on how to create a shape using that tool. And notice it says F1 for more help, which will take you out to the internet to Autodesk to give you more help on a specific tool. So let's go ahead and do the spline tool, and again we're just basically trying to somewhat recreate. All I'm doing is clicking, and then if I either double click or I can click and then do the check mark, if I double click, that creates the tool. So again, I didn't match that shape very closely, but I'm not really that concerned about a perfect match. All I'm doing is playing around and learning how to use the tool. Okay. If I want the spline to be enclosed, okay, the other two to be enclosed, of course your first and last point have to be the same. So by double clicking there, up, and it caused, oh, that's because I already closed it and automatically started a new spline. But by double clicking your first and last point, that allows you to have an enclosed spline. Okay, so of course to save the file, finish sketch, make sure you save it, and that's 01 spline, which is saved in my 5.2 folder.